Hello everyone, welcome to my update US Gossip channel. Kody Brown and Robyn's explosive secret was revealed at Coyote Pass in a way no one, not even the most seasoned Sister Wives viewer, could have predicted, and it happened on a windswept afternoon when the sky hung heavy with dense gray clouds that seemed to mirror the emotional storm brewing between the Browns, a storm that had been building for years underneath polite smiles, strained conversations, and the unspoken fractures left behind by heartbreak, jealousy, and the irreversible unraveling of a once unshakable plural family empire. And as Kody pulled up to the dusty property with Robyn in the passenger seat gripping her phone tightly, jaws clenched in dread, the other wives, Janelle and Mary, already stood near the wooden stakes that marked what used to be dreams of 4 side-by-side homes that never materialized, because the land was now mere symbolism of promises broken and trust destroyed, and tension crackled like electricity as they exchanged stiff greetings before Kody's voice boomed across the lot announcing that there was something they deserved to know, something he claimed he had been forced to keep quiet, but the quiver in his voice suggested otherwise, prompting Janelle to cross her arms with that no-nonsense glare she had perfected after years of navigating his erratic leadership, while Mary's face tightened with curiosity mixed with the familiar sting of betrayal, and Robyn shifted uncomfortably beside him, already in tears before a single secret had been revealed, because she knew exactly what was coming, what she and Kody had kept buried under layers of excuses, half-truths, and carefully curated public narratives that painted them as victims of the other wives' rebellion. And after a long, dramatic pause, Kody admitted that before the big family split, before Christine left and before the tensions with Janelle reached their boiling point, he and Robyn had secretly met with a private developer to discuss carving out a separate luxury house for themselves on the most prime portion of Coyote Pass, land originally intended to be split equally among the 4 wives, because Kody wanted a retreat, a sanctuary, a place where the chaos couldn't reach them, and though he attempted to frame it as a backup plan, the wives immediately understood the truth. While they were trying to save the family, he and Robyn were planning an escape route, a 2-person kingdom disguised as future-proofing, a home meant only for them, and Robyn, through sobs, confessed that she didn't fight the idea because she feared losing him if she disagreed, revealing that the blueprint they kept hidden included a 3-car garage, a private courtyard, massive floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the hills, and a master suite placed intentionally far from wherever the other wives' homes would sit, if they were ever built at all, because Kody insisted that privacy would fix the emotional disconnect that had grown between him and the rest of the family. And this confession hit Janelle like a physical blow since she had spent years believing the land was a joint legacy, something for the kids, something representing the Brown family unity, not a betrayal designed behind closed doors. And Mary's eyes filled with a familiar mixture of heartbreak and resignation as she finally understood that the distance they felt from Kody wasn't just emotional but literal, architectural, designed into the very blueprint of the future he planned. And when they demanded to know why he had hidden it, Kody exploded defensively, insisting that he had to protect what was working, meaning his bond with Robyn, and that the rest of the family had become too difficult, too critical, too unwilling to follow his leadership, placing the blame squarely on Christine's departure and accusing Janelle of undermining him in front of the children. And as the accusations flew, the wind picked up across Coyote Pass, swirling dust around their feet like the land itself was responding to the chaos, and Robyn cried harder, admitting that she had begged Kody to tell the truth earlier but he refused because he didn't want to deal with the fallout, and she confessed that she worried this secret would make her look even more like the villain, the manipulator, the one fans blamed for the family implosion, but she insisted that she went along with Kody's plan out of fear, not malice, though Janelle sharply pointed out that fear doesn't justify quietly helping Kody plan a marital fortress while everyone else was fighting just to keep communication alive. And Mary, with a trembling voice, added that while she had expected many things from Kody after years of emotional distancing, she never imagined he would intentionally cut them off from a shared dream that they sacrificed so much for. And the argument grew so heated that Kody eventually shouted that he was done being the bad guy, that he deserved happiness and peace, that the family had pushed him into corners he couldn't escape from, and though he tried to justify the decision as something any man would do to protect what was left, his words fell flat as the wives realized that the secret revealed wasn't just about a house, it was about betrayal, hierarchy, favoritism, and a pattern of choices proving that Kody and Robyn had been prioritizing their marriage long before the other relationships collapsed. And the revelation sent shockwaves through the already fractured family. With Janelle walking away first in stunned silence before turning back to tell Kody that this was the final confirmation she needed to move on with her life entirely, while Mary whispered that she wished he had been honest when there was still time to fix things, and Robyn, sobbing uncontrollably, tried to apologize, but the damage was done, because this was the secret that crystallized everything the other wives had suspected for years. Kody never intended to rebuild a plural family at Coyote Pass. He had been building a monogamous life with Robyn under the guise of unity, and now that truth, exposed in the open air of the dusty property they once dreamed over, marked the final nail in the coffin of the Brown family legacy, leaving Kody and Robyn standing alone in the wind as the others walked away. The dream of Coyote Pass shattered forever, replaced by the undeniable reality that the family had broken long before the world ever saw the cracks. And as the dust continued swirling around Coyote Pass that afternoon, the emotional fallout only intensified, because even though Janelle and Mary tried to walk away, the sheer weight of what had just been revealed forced them to pause several yards away, both of them trembling, not from the cold wind but from the shock of realizing how long they had been misled, and Janelle, normally composed and pragmatic, suddenly turned back with fire blazing in her eyes, demanding that Kody explain how he justified attending countless family meetings about lot sizes, budgets, and shared responsibilities while secretly nurturing an entirely separate plan that excluded them, and Kody, cornered by the truth, retreated into a defensive stance, insisting he had felt pressured and attacked by their questions over the years, but the argument felt weak now, almost hollow, as if even he knew the excuse could no longer carry the weight of his deception, while Robyn quietly clung to his arm, shaking, whispering his name in an attempt to calm him down before things spiraled even further. But the wives weren't backing down anymore. Mary, voice quivering with decades of pent-up heartbreak, accused him of rewriting family history to justify his choices, reminding him of the nights she pleaded for communication, the endless counseling attempts, the emotional labor she carried alone while he retreated deeper into his bond with Robyn, and she finally said out loud what she had been swallowing for years, that Kody had stopped seeing her as a wife long before he ever admitted it on camera, that the secret house plan wasn't a new betrayal but proof of how far back his favoritism stretched, and when she said those words, her voice cracked in a way that made even Robyn's face crumble into deeper guilt, because Mary had suffered silently under the illusion that things could change, and now she saw that the dream of reconciliation was nothing but smoke. Janelle then stepped forward again, her tone sharp and unwavering, making it clear that the financial implications of the secret house plan were just as devastating as the emotional ones, because she had spent years pouring her resources into the communal fund, sacrificing her own future with the belief that Coyote Pass was a long-term investment for her kids, only to discover that Kody had been plotting a luxury lifestyle with Robyn on the land everyone paid for collectively, and she called it what it was, a betrayal wrapped in manipulation, executed under the guise of family leadership. But Kody refused to accept that framing, instead shouting that the wives were ungrateful and that no matter what he did, they twisted it against him. The argument escalated until even the crew filming the confrontation began exchanging nervous glances, uncertain whether to intervene or let the emotional explosion run its course, and as the tension reached a breaking point, Robyn finally stepped away from Kody, wiping her eyes, and admitted that she, too, had questioned the ethics of the secret plan but felt powerless to challenge him without risking her marriage, and her confession opened another painful truth, that she had been walking on eggshells around Kody just as much as the other wives, terrified of conflict, terrified of abandonment, terrified of losing the only marriage she thought she had left. This revelation stunned Janelle and Mary into momentary silence, not because it absolved Robyn but because it revealed a deeper, darker layer of dysfunction in their family's foundation. For a moment, no one spoke. The wind whistled across the ridge, scattering leaves like fragments of the family they once were. And then, in a rare moment of clarity, Mary whispered that the secret Kody tried so hard to hide had actually freed them all, because now there was nothing left to pretend, nothing left to salvage, nothing left binding them except memories and legal paperwork. Janelle nodded, her face set with finality, and told Kody that the land was no longer a symbol of hope or unity but a graveyard for promises that never materialized, and that she intended to move on with her life fully, without apology, without waiting for closure from a man who never intended to give it. Robyn collapsed into sobs, realizing that the truth had not only shattered the family but left her standing beside a man she now saw more clearly than ever, flawed, overwhelmed, and capable of choosing himself over everyone, including her. And as filming wrapped and the sun began to set behind the jagged hills, painting Coyote Pass in a haunting orange glow, it became undeniable that this moment, the explosive secret, the confrontation, the emotional unraveling, would forever mark the end of the Brown family as the world once knew it.